Right, it's 3,000 meters. This is 7.5 laps, but the key here is they have 42 hurdles to clear.
And we'll take a look at the field here. Carl Kupex, Paul Tidemore, Muns, Sison, Bells, Livingston, Halleck, who I believe is the favorite, Henry and Gonzalez. Do you like Halleck?
I'll stay with Livingston. Noyes Livingston's defending champion from the University of Texas. He won at A&M last year in 8:51. And the reason I'll say it, Halleck comes in with the best time, 8:39, but he ran the 10,000 meter run last night. Southwest Conference record of 8:38.56 set by Patrick Sang of Texas. The best mark ever, 8:22 by Sang. You see a lot of shirts look similar. The Texas and the Arkansas uniforms are fairly close together. They start in the middle of the track because the water jump cuts off the normal perimeter of the track. They will not hit the water jump until the second lap. They'll run a full half a lap before they have a hurdle. The hurdles are 3 feet high and they're designed not to be knocked over. They're designed to be stepped on. Stepping out very quickly from the inside was Paul Tidemore from Baylor, Daniel Muntz of Arkansas. And you see the Texas pair. Texas got a couple of good ones. And Steve Sisson. Steve last night sprinted home for second in the 10,000 meters behind Eric Henry of Arkansas, and they're both running it. Henry is the very tall one, running about the middle of the pack right down. Sisson is the one out in front. And just behind him is Alex Halleck with the best time coming in. They hit their first hurdle right now. Hurdle technique a little different from what we see in the regular hurdles. You can step on the hurdle if you want to. You can't step a hand on it and vault. But they'll come around and they have 4 hurdles plus they'll hit the water jump. Sisson on the inside, and he's one of the good ones. Halleck on the outside. Noyes Gonzalez from the University of Houston, and the big tall fella is the 10,000 meter winner last night, Eric Henry. Eric, in his final event at home, because he's from McCullough High School in the Woodlands near Houston, was a state high school champion at cross country. Here they're coming out of the first water jump. See, they've cut on the inside. The thing here is to step on it and try not to get too wet. And as you see, it's a problem. We had one down and a couple others stumble. The water jump makes the steeplechase not just another event. It makes it something else. On the backstretch, this is Noyes Livingston, the defending champion from Texas, who's gotten out into the lead right now with Noyes Gonzalez from the University of Houston. But they're not going to be there very long because here comes Alex Halleck. Halleck placed well in the 10,000 meters. He was led it for a little while last night, 25 laps. And you'd think it might have taken a lot out of his legs, but it tells you a little bit something about the training regimen that is given to the Arkansas athletes by Coach John McDonald. Coming up to the hurdle by the discus ring, Noyes Livingston, Alex Halleck, Noyes Gonzalez. Right behind them is big Eric Henry. And then Steve Sisson of Texas and the SMU runner Carl Kupez. That's through 2 full laps at a little over 2 minutes. Second water jump. Let's see how Noyes Livingston takes the water jump. The idea is don't get as wet as you might. I've frequently thought maybe the steeplechase was invented by the shoe manufacturers.
All right, while we're watching the steeplechase here, we're going to break away for just a second. Chris Adams, a pole vaulter from return to the steeplechase.
And Noyes Livingston continues to lead Alex Halleck and Noyes Gonzalez and Eric Henry. They're the top 4 as they finished 3 laps in 3:25. Livingston running very smoothly. He's from high school here in the greater Houston area. He went to Clemson, didn't like it, came back, dropped out of school, waited until he could establish eligibility, and now he's at the University of Texas, and they're extremely pleased to have him.
Eligibility rules for track and field the same for football and basketball?
If you transfer, you got to wait. You got to lay out a year. Yeah, it's the same thing true if your school drops out completely and quits playing, then you can just go
immediately.
And you don't see that happen in track as too often. The field beginning to string, but the key to watch are the top 2, and you'll notice that while Halleck is running second to Livingston, he's not very far back, just a stride or so. And those are the 2 to watch. We thought so ahead of time, and I still think so. But I still think that Livingston is fresher. He didn't run 10,000 meters, 25 laps last night, and we finished at about 9:30 after a flood delay. The Daily Deluge hit Robertson Stadium last night to the point where you could barely see the campus of the University of Houston across the street.
Well, it doesn't take long either. The sun was shining minutes ago, and now it is gray and overcast once again.
I noticed all the people on the field with dark glasses aren't wearing them anymore. About 4.5 minutes through 4 laps. And Noyes Livingston looks back. Where's Halleck? Aha. And the big Eric Henry. He wants to have a fine last meet for his home folks in the greater Houston area, and he's doing it with a beautiful race in the 10,000 meters. He was well paced. At the end of 24 laps, he just kind of turned it on and sprinted around and finished the last one going away. Eric Henry is third. Noe Gonzalez is fourth. Daniel Muntz, who's a freshman at the University of Arkansas in his first steeplechase for the year, has moved up, and he's now in the 5th position, running ahead of Steve Sisson of Texas. And Steve is beginning to show, having run the 10,000 last night. Noyes Livingston and Alex Halleck beginning to split away, and contact from Livingston is beginning to be lost by Halleck. He's going to have to pick it up and stay closer. Livingston looked very smooth. Livingston was the collegiate leader for a while this year with a time of 8:41.34 until the Penn relays a couple of weeks ago when Halleck ran 8:39 for 3rd place at the Penn relays. At the water jump for Noyes Livingston. Step on the top, get out as far as possible, and keep going. Halleck is now breaking back to about 25 meters behind, and Henry is another 20 meters behind Halleck as Livingston is increasing his lead on every lap. They'll be crossing the finish line, which is on the opposite side of the stadium from where we're sitting, and they will have 2 laps to run for Noyes Livingston. He's got 800 meters left of the steeplechase. It's conceivable that Halleck might catch him, but perhaps only with a shotgun. Livingston looks back twice, probably said to himself, looks back again as he comes up to the hurdle. A little bit of a stumble on the way down, but he's in control. Halleck and Henry are going to score a lot of points for Arkansas, though, in 2nd and 3rd place.
All right, Jay Fred, let me break in real quick here. Billy Payne from Baylor, his first pole vault of the day.
Is not surprising. They're the best 2 in the league, and Henry is just learning how. As physically strong as he is, this is probably an excellent race for him. But it's a matter of learning how to hurdle, and it's a lot different on the legs. Steve Sisson is still holding the 4th place for Texas, so the Longhorns have 1st and 4th. Arkansas 2nd and 3rd. But Arkansas's also got 5th with Daniel Muntz. And Noe Gonzalez running 6th for the University of Houston. Over by the discus gauge, into the final stretch. One more hurdle. It's that last hurdle in life over there, Jerry, as Noyes Livingston clears it, and he heads home, puts his head down and says, here I come. He'll have a pretty fair time. The record of 8:38.56, he won't make it, but he's not going to miss it by a long way. I've got him in 8:44.5. Halleck striding in behind him. He is about 6.5 seconds behind. And Eric Henry won't try hard. You can see the pain on the face here. This is what happens after the steeplechase. It's very, very tough, and it's not cool here in Houston today. Noyes Livingston will be very quickly attended to by the training staff here at the University of Houston, who've done an exemplary job for the last yesterday and today of taking care of the athletes when they needed help. And we've been fortunate in having had no real injuries.
Noyes Livingston has won the men's 3,000 steeplechase here at the Southwest Conference Track and Field Championships. As we go to break, we'll watch him in the home stretch. Here watching it on Prime Network.